I am taking your lecture 8 for the op-amp part 1. Op-amp part 1. Today we will discuss about the constant current source circuit. We will discuss about constant current source circuit. Sir, why we are discussing this? What is the reason? Let me discuss on that point. So, we have seen that for a differential amplifier, the output should proportional to the difference of the input signal. Means you should get only this is your output. This is your differential mode gain. This is a differential signal. This signal is this differential signal. So, for a ideal differential amplifier, output should proportional to the difference of the input signal, and you will get VO is equal to ADM into VDA. But listen, in practice, the output also depends upon the common mode signal. Due to this common mode signal, error is produced at the output. Error is introduced in the output. And this error, for your knowledge, I will say, the error term will be like this: common mode gain multiplied by common mode signal. And we have seen in a last semester with some numerical, this error is very large in the output if CMRR is not large. So in a last semester we have studied that if CMRR is large, if this is large, then error will be less. Error is very less. Error is very less. So we have questioned how you can increase the value of CMRR. For that we have derived one equation for differential amplifier. This equation we have derived, and this equation suggests that to increase CMRR, RE should be increased. Means if you keep the large value of RE, then CMRR will be large. Now we know that large value of RE means the circuit should behave as a circuit should act as a constant current source circuit. Circuit should act as a constant current source circuit. RE large means we can interpret that line in this way: circuit should behave as a constant current source circuit. So in a last lecture we have seen that if RE is replaced by circuit consisting of transistors Q3, resistor R1, R2, R3 and diode, then the circuit provides consisting of these as shown in last lectures, gives a very high value of the RE. So it provides a very large value of CMRR. Okay. And similar kind of the circuit today we want to see with a less number of components compared to this circuit. So one more circuit we want to discuss, that is called current mirror circuit. Current mirror circuit, which is called constant current source current mirror circuit. This circuit uses a very less number of component. That circuit I am showing you, and this circuit having a large output resistance. So its CMRR will be very large. So let us see that circuit. I am showing you the circuit of a current mirror circuit. This is your supply voltage. From this you are connecting resistor R1, and here I am connecting transistor Q1. Here this I am keeping here box is nothing but the circuit I am writing here. Circuit, you have to keep this circuit. Circuit is to be biased. Circuit is to be, you can say, here you have to connect the circuit is to be biased. So at this point, the circuit through which if you want to pass the constant current, that circuit you have to connect. And here I am keeping the another transistor. Emitter of both the transistors are joined. Base of both the transistor is also joined. This transistor I am writing Q2. Collector of this transistor is joined to the base of first transistor. So this transistor work as a diode. Remember that word. Now here current I reference is passing. I am writing here. This current is IC1. This is a junction point. Okay. So from this one current is flowing here, and from this you can say two current is bifurcating, IB2, and this current is IB1. So clear cut you can get the idea. I reference is equal to IC1 plus IB1 and IB2. Again, I reference is equal to IC1 plus IB1 and IB2. Current passing through this transistor is IC2. Then I am writing IO. Okay. Now this circuit provides a constant current only when Q2 is operated in active region. If Q2 is operated in active region, then IC2 is nearly equal to I reference provided beta is large. Beta of the transistor is large. You must be knowing what is active region means. Means region between the saturation and cutoff. In this region, the collector current does not depend upon transistor parameter. It does not depend upon the so much on collector emitter voltage. Right? So that's why there is a condition. Condition means you. Then and then I can say this current is a reflection of this current. Current IC2 is a reflection of the reference current, or you can say it's a mirror image of the I reference current. Due to this reason, this circuit is known as a current mirror. Listen, current passing through the transistor Q2, that is IC2 or IO, is nearly equal to I reference when Q2 is operated in active region plus, and beta should be very large. So this current IC2 is a mirror of I reference or IC2 is a reflection of the I reference. Due to this reason, this circuit is called current mirror. This circuit is called current mirror. Let us do the analysis. I want to show this current IC2 is equal to I reference. I want to show that. So let us do the analysis. So I am doing analysis. Here in analysis you can see here both the emitter of both the transistors are joined, base of both the transistors are joined. As a result, I can write VBE1 and VBE2 is nearly equal. Both the transistors are joined, both the emitter of both the transistors are joined. Emitter of both the transistors, emitters of Q1 and Q2 are joined. Base of Q1 and Q2 are joined. And for identical transistor, pair of the transistor, for identical Q1 and Q2 transistors, if the transistors are identical, then we can write VBE1 is equal to VBE2. Now we know the equation of the collector current for both the transistors is given by, already we have written in a previous lecture also. This is a thermal voltage. IC2 we can write alpha into IES saturated current upon VT. So from this 2 I can write IC1 upon IC2 is equal to e raised to VBE1 minus VBE2 upon VT. Now just we have written for VBE1 is equal to VBE2. For VB1 and VB2 are equal, I can write IC1 upon IC2 is 1. Means IC1 is nearly equal to IC2. Now I want to show IC2 is a I reference. What I want to say? IC2 is equal to I reference. This is called current transfer ratio is what? Unity. So how can you show this IC2 is equal to I reference? That I am discussing now. See from the circuit. From the circuit you can see this circuit. See this circuit. I reference is equal to IC1 plus IB2 plus IB1. I reference is equal to this current plus this current. So I am showing that part. I reference is equal to IC1 plus IB1 plus IB2. Now we know that. We know beta is equal to IC upon IB. By using this, I can write here IC1 plus IC1 upon beta 1 plus IC2 upon beta 2. For identical transistors, beta 1 is equal to beta 2 is equal to beta, and we know that IC1 is equal to IC2. Let me take it is what? I0. So I can write I reference is equal to I0 plus I0 by beta plus I0 by beta. So I can write I0 plus 2I0 by beta. So I can write 1 plus 2 by beta into I0. So I can write I0 is equal to IC2 is equal to I0 I have taken IC2. It is nothing but the beta upon beta plus 2 into I reference. So this equation says that if beta is large, then IO is equal to IC2 is nearly equal to I reference. Said that I told you that when beta is large, then this current is a image of this current. This current is a reflection of this current. Therefore, this is called current mirror. And what is the condition? Beta should be large. Or what is the second thing? The transistor should be operated in an active region. Now, so I want to find the value of I reference. You can find the value of I reference. From the circuit you can write VCC is equal to I reference into R1 plus VCE for a transistor 1 or VCE1. Let me write VCE1. You can see in your circuit. You can see in the circuit VCC is equal to this voltage is equal to this voltage is what is that? I reference into R1 plus this voltage. What is this voltage? VCE1. Now you can see VCE1 is nothing but the VBE1. VCE1 is nothing but the VBE1. You can see here from this. So I can write in this equation VC1 is equal to what should I write? VB1. So I can write VC1 is nothing but the VB1, or we have written it is what constant for both the transistors. So I can introduce VB. So VCC is equal to I reference into R1 plus VB. So I can write value of this reference current is nothing but VCC minus VB upon R1. This is useful in a numerical. Okay. So I want to write VCC by R1. I do not mind. VB is very less. Now, you may have questions. Sir, can you set what another value of the current ratio? This current ratio is what? 1. Can you set another value of the what? Transfer current ratio greater than 1? Yes, you can keep. If you want to get this current ratio is more than 1, greater than unity, then current ratio greater than unity can be obtained by controlling area of base emitter of transistor Q2. If I keep area of base emitter junction of a transistor Q2 is 4 times the area of base emitter junction of transistor Q1, then I can get IO is 4 times I reference. This so that if you want to keep 2 times I reference, then I have to keep the area of base emitter junction transistor Q2 is what? Twice the area of the base emitter of the Q1. Means by changing the area of base emitter junction of a transistor Q2, you can get different value of your current IO. Now, in this circuit, output resistance is given by VA upon IC. So, VA is called early voltage, and this is very, very large. Large, do not think it is infinite. If somewhere what we have written very large or infinite, does not think it is infinite. It is sufficient large. So if VA is large, so RO is large. So that I use in a first sentence. Resistance is very large, so CMRR is very large. This same you can see from this characteristics also. VC transistor 2, for transistor 2, this is IC2, this is a graph of collector current and collector emitter voltage characteristics. This voltage I am writing VCE 2.3 voltage just for your understanding. So this is called active region. In this active region, the output region you can find from the RO is nothing but the 1 upon slope of this graph. So RO is very large, so CMRR will be very large, and this circuit will behave as a constant current source circuit. So current mirror behaves as a constant current source circuit. So here is the end of the theory of this topic. Let us do the numerical base on this current mirror circuit. So I am writing the numerical stations. See, for the current mirror circuit, VCC is equal to 10 volt, VB is equal to 0.7 volt, beta is equal to 125. Calculate the value of R1. Calculate the value of R1 to provide 1 milliampere current. Let us find the answer. What the question? For current mirror, VCC is 10 volt, VB is 0.7, beta is this. Calculate the value of R1 to provide 1 milliampere current. It's very easy. We have written just now. So first you write the data. What your data is given to you? VCC 10 volt, beta is 125, VB is 0.7 volt, and your current, how much constant current you want? This IO or IC2, I want 1 milliampere. Find the value of R1. We know the equation. IO is equal to, this already we know, beta upon beta plus 2 into I reference. We have written this equation just now, we have derived. And we have written also, but I reference is nothing but you have written VCC minus VB upon R1. So let me put this value here. Beta upon beta plus 2 into VCC minus VB upon R1. Let me put the value. IO is equal to. Let me put the value here. IO is equal to beta is 125 upon beta plus 2 127. VCC 10 volt minus 0.7 upon I reference is what? Here this is upon R1. Now this you want 1 milliampere. See, we have written IO, how much you want? 1 milliampere. So this is 1 milliampere, 125 upon 127 multiplied by 9.3 upon R1. So R1 is nothing but you can write 125 upon 127 into 9.3 upon 10 raised to minus 3. You will get R1 is nearly about 9.15 kilo ohm. So if you connect this much value of the if you connect this much value of the R1 here, this R1 is how much you will to connect? 9.15 kilo ohm. Then you will get, and this transistor you have to take such that its beta is how much? 125. VCC how much you have to take? 10 volt. This beta is 125. We cutting voltage 0.74 both. Then here you will get 1 milliampere current. How much you will current get? 1 milliampere. And that is constant because Q2 is operated. Q2 is operated in a active region. Q2 is operated in a active regions. Now, second numerical based on this. Repeat this numerical. If you want to get your current is 10 microampere. Repeat this numerical. If you want to get current is 10 microampere. Data is same. What is the data? VBB, VCC 10 volt. It is your 10 volt. Your beta 125. VB, how much you will get? They have given 0.7 volt. Calculate the value of R1 if you want to get 10 microampere current in a current mirror circuit. Let us see the answer. We know that IO is equal to beta upon beta plus 2 into I reference beta upon beta plus 2 multiply. What is I reference? VCC minus VBE upon current, R1. So what is R1? You can say beta upon beta plus 2 multiplied by VCC minus VBE upon IO. Now, put this value. R1 is equal to 125 upon 125 plus 2, 127. This is 10 minus 0.7 upon 10 microampere. How much we have written? 10 microampere. So 10 into 10 is 2 minus 6. So if you find out this value, we will get 915 kilo ohm. What the conclusion? Conclusion is that to get low value of the current, to get low value of the constant current, the value of R1 is very large. Value of R1 is very large. So in an economical IC, large value of the R1 cannot be easily fabricated. Means this circuit is not advisable to use low value of the constant current. So you will get two limitations. One, if beta is low, this cannot be used. Means you cannot get IC2 is equal to I reference. Second, for a low value of the constant current, this circuit is not advisable to use. So this numerical say that to get a low value of the constant current, we have to use another circuit.